Tonight, another rainy, dull night in Chicago, a bit cold and chilly in the evenings. These nights, it's a bit of a transitional time for the city as the weather starts to get cooler and the summer nights begin to fade. And less Chicagoans find themselves spending nights out enjoying the nicer weather and getting ready for the crisper evenings where perhaps they don't want to stay out as long as they wanted to and want to get to their destinations in the city quickly to avoid the colder weather, the inclement weather. And this night is one of those nights. But to Kindred, none of that truly matters. The things that once affected you as mortals no longer make a difference at all to you in this life. Whether it be cold or hot, the weather means nothing now. You are corpses. You are death. The various restaurants, shops, bars, the places that once meant something to you in your previous life, the things and recreations that you once enjoyed doing, they no longer seem significant. It all, though it's only been a year and change since you've been brought into this life, in some ways it seems distant. And you remember that you won't be able to go back to those nights. Though, of course, things were different for the Lysanders in every way. You were born into privilege and affluence. So many of the things that you experienced then, you still experience now. But some of it is still different. And sometimes you do think about, there's no way to reverse this. This is who I am now. This is what I am now. And this is what I must face. And meeting older kindred who have seen many, many generations and many lives, seem so distant from what they once were. You wonder, will I be like that one day? Will I even live to see nights like that? Many questions that come to your minds as fledglings still. What does the future look like for you? Not just in the next 5 years, not even the next 10 years, 20, 30, 50, 100 years from now. But none of that matters in the immediate moment as we see the Lysanders on another night in Chicago. And as it has been a night or two since you all, the four of you, have been together and you had that fateful meeting alongside the passing of your brother and the funeral, I would like all of you in this new night to make a rouse check.
Aw.
Yeah.
Heck.
I failed.
Should I make one for last week too?
You know what?
We failed.
You know what, Val? I think you should.
I was at 0 anyways. I
Oh,
got
right,
one
'cause
success, one failure, so I'm at 1 hunger.
Because you killed the person. Right.
Yeah, good times.
yes. Murder.
All right. So you're only at hunger 1. Actually, let me write this down. What's everybody else's hunger at?
2.
2.
Silas 2. Okay. Willow 2. Dorian 2. Okay. All right. Tonight, we will take a quick glimpse at what our 4 kindred have been up to before we drop into perhaps them back together. And we start with Val. Val, you have spent the last night or two since you last saw your siblings at the Succubus Club. And we're back to our club music with the Succubus Club music. And you and Annabelle have been working together to set up a new space for essentially replacing Thea's space, as it's been confirmed she won't be returning to the club. And instead, Aluk, who is another ministry, who has been eyeing a spot at the Succubus Club for some time. He had a successful art gala a couple of weeks ago at the club, and now he's kind of had his time, his space to show off what he is made of. And so Annabelle has offered him that spot. So you have been setting that up, and as you make some of the final touches, move some of his furniture and his art into the room, Annabelle does walk in. And the two of you have not talked about the events of the night where you all met Helena at the club. It's been one of those things where it's almost an elephant in the room, and you haven't brought it up, she hasn't brought it up. But tonight, she walks in and she looks at you. I know you've been busy here the last couple of nights, and I appreciate all of the work that you've put into the club. I realize I've been perhaps monetizing and taking all of your time here at the club. And
Oh, no, not at all.
no, it's not fair of me to completely monopolize all of your time, Val. You are a Toreador, and we are meant to be social. We are meant to spread our wings sometimes.
I'm really good at multitasking.
You are. And I do appreciate that you are able to get many things done and be quite capable of that. I realize I haven't really talked much about the other night and the meeting with your siblings. I just want to make sure that everything that happened in that meeting and the things that you and your siblings learned does stay between all of us and remains a secret.
You trust me.
I trust you, yes, but I really don't know your siblings as well as I know you, Val.
I understand why one would be concerned, especially when you don't know them as well, but they're the best people I know. I trust them.
I'm glad that you trust them. But I do want to make sure that you keep an eye on your siblings. And if any of them were to say anything about our dear Portia and who she really is, they will meet their final death.
I really don't think it's an issue. I mean, if they were to do that, it would put all of us in danger anyways.
It
They
certainly
wouldn't do
would.
that to me or Willow, or they just wouldn't. They couldn't.
Of course. And so you know, there are not many people in the city who know about Portia and who she really is. They know that there is a neonate here in the city named Portia. They do not know that Helena is in Chicago. There was a time where, yes, Helena was openly in Chicago before the war. And when the War of Chicago was at its peak, Helena was part of it. It took a lot out of her. And she succumbed to what we call the beckoning. And it happens to many kindred when they get older. It's an unexplainable thing that happens. You feel pulled elsewhere. And you can't resist that call. And that was the last anybody saw of Helena in Chicago. And for everybody else's, for all intents and purposes, she is somewhere across the ocean, no longer here.
Will we be able to restore her former glory one day?
That is the goal. Yes, that is why she asked you and your siblings to take care of the business with your father and whatever power he holds. Once that is dealt with, there will be no other threats to Chicago, and Helena will be the only one with that ancient power. And she'll be able to take Chicago.
I trust you, and I believe in and believe everything that Helena said, but I don't care what happens to anyone else. My family will be okay, right? No, my dad does not count as family. I mean my siblings.
They will be fine. As long as your father doesn't get a hold of them, I think they'll be fine.
I don't think any of them would let him.
No,
Besides,
your siblings...
surely... Sorry.
No, go ahead, Val.
There's no way he could even contend with Helena, is there?
Not currently. But the things that you learned in Greece. Yes. It could be a potential threat. There aren't many other kindred in this city that have that kind of power. There is a Bruja. Critias, he is as old as Helena, but he sits behind his books and learnings. I don't think he's ever lifted a finger, and I don't think he ever will. He's old and complacent, and it's sad.
Well, it's not our problem then.
Indeed, it's not.
We know what we have to worry about, and we were already on it before Helena even asked. But we'll take care of it.
I know you will.
I promise you.
Yes. Which I know I've told you about Helena and the things that she has been keeping here at the club. There are... Not even the prince knows about this, Val. That is the weight of this. This is something your siblings know, myself, Brett, and the Tremere regent, Abraham Deuceable, is also aware of this. But there are none others.
And there will be no others until we wish it so.
Your uncle also knew about it. But he is no longer here.
No, he's not. Alan's not. But we move forward.
Yes. Last thing is, just so you're aware, as far as your uncle goes, the rumors spread among the Camarilla, I've heard the Rose Garden, is that there have been questions about your uncle and where he's been, and most suspect it to be he too had succumbed to the beckoning, and that's why he's not around. Unfortunate, but I think it's best to keep it that way. So if anybody asks, I think that's as good of a story as you'll get.
Your secrets are safe with me. And my family.
Of course.
I was wondering if we might spend the night together like we did before when I stayed here for a while. I know you said you didn't want to monopolize my time, but I'm all done with this room. It's all ready to go for a Luke, so I won't be. My siblings are all out tonight. I'm free.
You see a smile on her face, and it goes from a smirk to a larger smile, and as she does, you see her teeth and her fangs just lightly protruding. Why, Val? That's so sweet of you to want to stay with me. And she moves in closer. She gently... One of her love languages must be touch, because she is always like touchy with you. And she just gently puts her hand on your shoulder. Yes. Perhaps tonight you can stay again.
Al is acting totally cool about it, not freaking out at all.
And she gently grabs your arm and your hand and brings you out of the room to the club. And the two of you are met with the familiar scents and sounds of the Succubus Club. As lively as any other night, the downpour and torrential rains outside do not affect the patrons of this club as they enjoy their night. And the two of you as well. She brings you out to the floor, and you dance and enjoy your night with your sire. And we
right
fade.
when the song ended. That was perfect.
that was good timing. We fade from the club and bring ourselves to a familiar sight of the Tremere chantry, where we see Silas, as the usual, in his lab after a night spent with his siblings and his homunculus, where Dorian and Willow got a chance to meet Silas the Third. Unfortunately, Val missed out. What? Missed out on meeting.
We met the raisin child.
the
Fine, I was
child.
following around this pretty lady instead of this little raisin child. It's fine.
You didn't get to meet your nephew, but
He's very cute.
But tonight at the chantry, you've sent Silas the Third on a couple of tasks, and Deucible actually comes to you, and he brings Silas III with him, and just gently says that he was your homunculus was going through some of my personal books, Silas. It's not normally look. They are there for everybody, but generally I would prefer to ask first before diving right into my personal quarters.
Of course, my apologies. Silas, let's stay out of Regent Deucible's private quarters in his office without permission.
He looks at you. But you wanted me to help with new spells.
I did, yes. You did what you were told, but privacy is important.
Privacy. When will I get privacy?
Privacy is something that is
He looks at you.
What would you like privacy for?
I am always around people here, always being watched. And you look at him, and tonight, Silas, I won't even have you roll a wits insight for this. You see a scowl on his face. Not something he normally has. I am always watched here.
This is the chantry. We are all watched by
Are you always watched?
I assume so, yes.
Yes.
But if you would like privacy, maybe I can work something out. Maybe I'll buy you a tent.
He nods. Deucible, kind of watching this interaction, and he has a bit of a smile on his face from this. You see him move his cane from one hand to the other, and seems he's getting a little more, acting up a bit more. Silas, this is normal.
I remember what you told me, yes.
Just be careful.
I won't forget what you mentioned. I did not expect it to happen so soon.
Well, this is, by all intents and purposes, a very rare occurrence. A neonate completing a spell like this. Perhaps many things will be unexpected with this experiment.
When's the last time you interacted with a homunculus?
Oh,
You said it's been many years.
many years ago, my sire, he made one as a gift when he got on somebody's bad side and owed a boon, and that was a way of settling the boon. He created one of them as a servant for another kindred, and that was a way of settling a score.
I have to ask, because you had child-sized clothes in your office. I'm not aware of your sire.
Yes, my sire. Nikolai. Former Primogen of Chicago. That
So
was many years ago.
But the lack of Primogen is a more recent revelation of the Camarilla here in the city. Hasn't always been that way.
No, not always. The war changed a lot of things here, and the changing of guard in some ways also changed a lot of things. This has always been a very Ventrue-run city, Chicago. A very business-oriented city. But the Tremere did once have more influence under my sire, Nikolai. And yes, he was a child. And yes, it was very strange, the dynamic between the two of us. Having to answer to somebody who is not 13 years old.
It must have been
It
difficult.
was extremely difficult.
And if you don't mind, what happened to him?
He died. Final death.
And has Primogen status not been offered to you in his stead?
No, unfortunately, with some of the changes to the internal structure of the Camarilla and some of Jackson's changes, the Tremere Primogen seat was removed. I maintain a good relationship with Prince Jackson, but he has looked to other methods for his blood magic in the Banu Hakim. But there are still things that the Banu Hakim have that, though useful, it is nowhere near the level of our blood magic. I think even Jackson knows that.
I have read manuscripts and reports on the Banu Hakim. It is quite comical what they think they can do that we can.
Yes. Well, they have their uses, of course, but eventually the chantry and the Tremere as a whole will show the Camarilla that they still need us in more ways than one. It also doesn't help that some members of the chantry defected to other. A few of them became anarchs, and it was a little messy. It was a messy time. House Karna, they became a bit more not following the ways of the Camarilla.
It was probably hard with the loss of Prague as well.
Yes, Vienna.
Sorry, Vienna, not Prague, yes.
It was a heavy loss for our clan. But I'm glad that you've done your research, Silas, and you're well read and well versed in our history.
There's nothing more that I like to do but learn. Sometimes knowledge and sometimes reading the simple manual can take you a long way.
That we can agree on.
I'd like to talk about your project with my sire.
Yes.
My
She and
offer
I
still
just-
stands if you need my assistance.
The time may come for that. As a matter of fact, she and I just had a meeting. And the time may come sooner than we think. So we may need your help, Silas, to make sure that we can complete this ritual.
Well, what do you need of me?
I am going to need some things done in various parts of the city. We're going to need to do smaller rituals in different corners of Chicago, different areas of the city to get a better scope of the land. Doesn't need to be done right now, but in the coming weeks, I will reach out.
My schedule is wide open for you, Regent Usable.
Thank you, Silas. Oh, and one more thing. Your friend Simone, she came to me recently and she requested to be transferred to another chantry.
Interesting.
I'm a bit saddened by this, as we need her. Our numbers are not as... The amount of Tremere in the city is not as large as I would hope and want. So she is talented and skilled, and I'd rather see her not leave. She wanted to go to New York, and as much as I appreciate and respect the 5 boroughs, I think they have enough resources there. We could really use the help here.
Not to mention, she'd be under Ashling.
Yes. Your sire.
So are you asking me to talk to her? Try to convince her to stay?
It would be helpful, yes. I'm considering denying the request. But I don't want to, just perhaps if some of her colleagues talk to her about it, that might make the rejection a bit smoother.
I will talk to her.
Thank you, Silas.
You're welcome.
And he
Have a
takes
good-
his leave.
Have a good evening.
You as well.
I'll make sure he stays out of your office.
He chuckles as he's walking down the hallway. And our camera fades from the Tremere Chantry. And we move to a different area. To an art gallery. Where Willow is sorting through some of her recent packages that came in for the evening. And some of these were gear and weapons to prepare for the coming nights. You have been preparing with Adder and the Anarchs to confront this church that you believe is the main location, the main source for the hunter problem in Chicago. And while you and Adder know that this may not solve all of the problems, you know that it will at least help with the immediate situation that has been plaguing Chicago. If you can at least get rid of their assets, you can not worry about the threat as much as you do now. And Willow, one thing that Adder has also noted is that this isn't just a church operation. It seems that they're also getting government operations involved in this.
Oh, how does he know that? Or what evidence did he find?
In some of the things that he sent to you, you see some documents. And these documents, they have a name written at the top of them. It's called First Light. And when you're looking through these documents, yes, they look like they are definitely government documents. And they have notes on various hideouts and locations of kindred. Thankfully, none of them are prominent locations that you know of.
Okay. And none that are associated with people I know.
Thankfully, not the Succubus Club or Red Number 5 or any of the other kindred clubs that you've heard of. Though, the one thing it does note is it seems there was note of the last Elysium that took place at the Chicago Symphony. They seem to have that marked. It doesn't say anything about an Elysium, of course, but you see it marked as potential kindred activity. Chicago Symphony. The notes are definitely troubling to you.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's a pretty big deal. You know, some people would take this to the prince. Some people would do that, I'm sure.
Some people, yes.
Well, what's he gonna do about it? Nothing. In her mind, at least.
The last thing you see in this is some dates.
Okay.
It looks like they want to strike in 2 weeks' time. The hunters want to make a move. So Adder proposes to strike before the 2 weeks' time.
Okay. Strike before. Okay. Writing this down.
And of course, the last thing you see at the very bottom of this package that Adder sent to your art gallery is a package of treats.
Aww.
Little trail mix and
For baby.
and cheeses of various assortments. The little cubed cheese packets. Oh.
That's a father. A father providing for his son. Oh my god. He said, feed the children while I'm away. She's kind of absorbing this information, maybe absent-mindedly opening the little treats so Machiavelli can stick his little snoot in. And this is the first I've heard of this information.
Yes.
Wow, the fact that they were that close to possibly knowing where an Elysium was taking place, and they intend to strike in 2 weeks. Is there anything that I know that is happening in the Kindred world in 2 weeks?
Roll me a intelligence and politics. Willow, I'm not exactly
I'm not.
That might be the worst roll any of us have ever had to make.
Yeah, I have no politics.
Look, Dorian might know what's going on, but I don't know if Willow knows what's going on.
Well, let's do alternative. She only knows the cool stuff that's going
I
on.
only know cool stuff that's happening. I have wits, okay? I don't have intelligence. I only got a 2. So we're rolling with a pool of 2, everyone. I have etiquette, but I don't think that helps.
You know that... No, actually. You don't know of any events that are coming up. You haven't heard anything through the web, through the cobweb, or through any of the rustlings and rumblings of any events coming up.
Safe for an attack. And there's no note of where it might be happening, just that they will be moving in 2 weeks.
Correct.
I see. And what do we have gathered so far for our attack?
So, you know of the church.
Okay.
One thing that Adder has suggested is maybe doing some sort of chemical warfare to deal with this, since they used fire. I should say this isn't just him. This is the Anarchs. This is their.
Adder said, "This is my specialty, waging war."
That, maybe they find a way to put something in, like carbon monoxide or like CO2 or something, to get people
Are we
to
about
exit.
to mustard gas people?
Willow, darling, have you ever used mustard gas?
My God.
That to get a bunch of people out of a building, especially mortals, and it's something that won't affect kindred, is something that's not fire, but something silent and deadly. Carbon monoxide.
That's actually such a. Oh, he's so smart.
But that's just one proposal. They obviously, you also have like weapons and artillery, but so do they, and theirs specializes in hurting kindred.
But have they considered? I bet I have more money than the hunters. If they want to play that Monopoly game. Anarchs, have you considered it? I'll throw all of my fortune into this.
All of your 4 dots and resources, or 5 dots and resources.
I will throw all of my resource into this right now to outmoney them. And if that is not the most Lysander thing I've ever said on the show, what is? Yeah, I think I'd like to scope it out then, if that is possible. Because if we're going to use chemicals, we're going to need to see what kind of ventilation system we're working with. Like, am I just hooking this shit into the HVAC? You know what I mean. I need to find out where these things are.
Yes. So, would you like to... Where in particular are you thinking of scouting?
The church.
Okay. You grab your things, you grab Machiavelli, and
my
head
gun.
out,
I bring
and
my
your-
gun.
And your gun.
Because what if I get cornered by a human?
And you head out, and you actually you see Lucas waiting for you in the lobby as you make your way down.
My ghoul. My
He-
new ghoul.
He is looking better today than he was the other night. He still doesn't look like he's 100%, but he looks much healthier tonight.
How are you feeling tonight?
I'm doing better.
Good.
A little. I'm feeling a little peckish again.
Well, I don't think you can eat the normal way, but when we get back from this, Silas did tell me how to do the whole, through the baggie transfusion. So we can do that when we get back, if you'd like.
Yeah. Are you sure that you feel confident in doing that whole thing?
Yeah.
Okay. I trust you.
And you know what? If we do it and I think it's going poorly, we'll go to Silas and we can have him do it.
All right. Where to?
There's this church down in this area, and she'll point it out. Like if he pulls out his phone, she'll show him where it's at.
Okay. Yes, that's all the way across the city, so it probably is going to be like a 40-minute to an hour drive.
Oh.
Just so you know, not that big of a deal, but it might take the whole night.
Yeah.
But
Mm.
that's fine. We can go.
Yeah. And then after it, you have a little treat to look forward to.
Yes. A little treat. He says.
What am I, a pet?
And looks at Machiavelli.
It's truly the way they are the same.
Pass
Yeah.
Lucas a cheese.
Yeah. The two of you head to the back exit where the parking garage is and head out to northwest in the city, a bit closer toward O'Hare, and begin scouting out this area. The area itself is not, obviously it's not downtown, so it's not a lot of hustle and bustle in this area of the city. There are buildings, there are apartments, and of course, there are churches. You've passed quite a few at this point, but none of them are the church, the one that you saw in your vision. But as you're driving through and Lucas is looking at the map that you gave for Adderhead, and he's, pointed out a couple of locations, you're getting closer to the area. And Willow, suddenly, everything goes black in your mind. And you hear something. You hear a voice in your head. And you see the spirals and spinning of the cobweb. And you hear a voice. Help. Help me. I'm lost. Where am I? What is this place? They found me. They're hurting me. Please, stop. It hurts. No! And then you hear screaming. The voice sounds young, female. And you can't recognize the voice. But then more and more whispers keep coming in, again and again. This is somebody like you. Somebody in your clan reaching out for help.
Can I respond?
Yes.
She'll focus in on the voice. Where are you? Let me help you. Tell me where you are.
I'm already dead. They took me.
They grabbed me. They put a bag over my head. They brought me to a room, and they slowly shone light on my skin. My flesh was burning. Burning.
Tell me about them. Tell me about them. So I can find them.
There's 4 of them.
4?
4? No. Yes, 4. 4. 1.
What did they look like?
1 baseball bat.
Okay.
Baseball cap. 1 dress shirt, glasses, tattoos. 1 glasses, sword, leather jacket. 1 female, tattoos, jacket. She grabbed me. Baseball bat. He grabbed me. Then, sword. He took my head. I am gone from this world. I am in oblivion.
Do you know how long? How long have you been gone?
Days, weeks, months. I don't know.
Who is your sire? Who can I tell?
Primogen. Son, his name.
I know that name, do I not?
You do. You do know that the Malkavian Primogen, his name is Son, or Jason Newberry is his real name, but everybody calls him Son.
Sun is the one who made you, who I can tell?
Yes.
I don't know if there's such a thing as putting someone to rest for us, but I'll help.
It is too late for me, but not for you. Do not let them take you.
She nods. She wants out of it now.
And then the vision comes back to you. Clarity. The car. The backseat. Reality. The cold air. You are no longer where you once were. But that vision, that voice, it seems so real.
Was.
And as you're driving, Lucas points out, I think that's it. And he points, and it's unmistakable to you. The church. It's small. It doesn't have a lot to it. But the one thing that you see is that statue of the angel in a small courtyard. And that, you know, is what you saw in your vision.
This is the place. That's the statue I saw. Which means this is where they stay.
Lucas, well, here it is, and we should just keep going. And he's like driving. He's like,
Lucas, slow down.
Oh, I don't think we should stop. I think we should keep going.
Well, then do a slow crawl.
Okay.
But don't circle.
Okay.
I need to be able to see all the entrances. Ways out, windows. And a discreet place that we can get whatever chemical we're working with in.
Willow, roll me a wits investigation.
Now that I can do. Wits, I gotcha.
As Lucas slows the car to a 5 miles per hour pace, crawling past this church with your tinted windows,
Yep.
you move up and try to get a peek.
Let's ball. Now, I'm sure I will eventually one day stop asking this, but it does not matter if I roll on my little red die, correct? Unless I fail, right?
Unless you fail, if there is a skull on one of the red die, that is bad.
Okay. Good to know. I'm gonna use a willpower. Please hold. I did not get as many successes as I wanted. I only got 2. And I would like the chance at more. Squeeze. There we go. I made up the other 2. So 4.
4 successes.
Let me mark my willpower.
You take in as much as you can about this church, and you notice the obvious identifying things. There's one entrance. One large entrance at the front with a couple of stairs, and then one back entrance that leads to the courtyard. And there are some windows. They have some sort of stained glass designs on them, but there's only 4 of them on each side, and they're not really majestic in any way. They are pretty simple, standard windows of stained glass. There is a small steeple at the top. 2 things you notice is 1, looking at the church and looking at the foundation of the building. It looks like the lower foundation of the church and the upper the building up doesn't quite match. Like something was built over it. Like there is perhaps something that was built below it and then built over.
So there's more to it than what's above, probably.
The other thing you notice is in the back of the church, it doesn't look like there's many cars parked in the parking lot to the right of it. There's 2 vehicles. And then there's a third vehicle that is a large SUV.
Okay.
Almost in some ways similar to some of the larger SUVs that your family drives. It's got tinted windows.
Ah.
It's just a large tinted window SUV truck.
Let me get the plates on all of those. Willow is like taking out her phone, like, just let me
You do. The plates on they're the 2 cars. They're like normal sedans,
Yeah.
Chicago plates. The plates on the SUV are out of state.
Okay. Interesting.
Lucas, do you notice anything weird about that SUV? I don't know. Do you know more about cars? You drive for a living.
It doesn't look like it belongs in a church. Like,
Is it
I mean,
a nice looking car?
it is.
Okay, like a newer.
Yes.
Okay.
I can tell you this is not a vehicle that I think would be a transport vehicle, like one that I would drive to drive people around.
Okay.
Could be
So
a
it's-
government vehicle or something.
It is a blacked out SUV.
Yeah.
We should look at it, right? We should peek inside.
Inside the SUV,
Should we not?
there's only 3 cars there. If somebody sees us,
Well, okay, keep driving, but okay, so what if we did this? Imagine. I can just... No.
I can only drive 5 miles per hour for so long, and then a car comes behind and just zooms around. Yeah, just like, hey, and yells.
Hey! I'm driving here!
Gives you guys the middle finger.
Is it that same guy?
Oh my god, the same fucking guy.
The gigolo.
Hey, I'm driving here.
Bumping ass music.
Yeah. Playing Gasolina on full
He's
blast.
playing Gasolina! Love him. He's iconic. He's iconic Chicago man.
What if we just okay, loop around the block. I'm gonna let Machiavelli out. He's gonna look at it.
Okay, that sounds like a better idea. All right, I'm gonna do 1 loop. Hold on. And he
Okay.
drives left, comes back.
And then I'm gonna put Maki on the case. So I'm gonna pull a little. I'm pulling out the trail mix
Ooh.
that Maki's dad got. Okay. And I pull out a scrumptious piece, which is gonna be the dried cranberry.
Ooh.
I know. A great piece of any good trail mix. And I hold it and I look at him.
Maki, I have a very important mission for you. I need you to crawl up into that car. You tell me what you see, and I will give you all of the cranberries in this bag. All of them.
You see his ears perk up.
Okay.
And his nose twitches a bit and he about faces from you.
He said, cranberries are on the line.
And scurries out of your car and across the way toward the church. And Lucas does another slow roll to wait. And I actually would like you to roll me for Machiavelli. Another intelligence investigation.
Let's go, Maki. This is for all the cranberries. Really, it is. This is the smartest rat in the world. 3 successes.
3 successes.
Let's go, Maki.
Machiavelli returns, and he has a bit of grease on him. It looks like he went under the car and
Ooh.
crawled a bit, and now he's a little greasy.
Oh, nasty little rat. Love him.
But one thing he does return with is in his little mouth a bullet. And this bullet, it looks like it's a normal round, but there is an engraving on it. It looks like a cross with an X in it. So you're not quite sure what type of bullet this is, but it does have an engraving on it.
I'm sure this is very valuable. This was amazing work. Truly stellar. I'll even let you have one of the chocolate chips out of the trail mix, even though you're not supposed to.
And then
she'll
he
hand it
actually, he takes it, and as he does, something else falls from his little maw.
Oh, more!
And you see, it looks like a piece of a map. And one thing on this, from what he's ripped out, it looks like the edges of a familiar location to you.
That's not good.
A certain park. And written on the back, you see Wolf written.
Dude, I feel like I just had a brain blast.
Machiavelli takes the treats.
Oh, yeah.
While Willow sits and looks at this. Looks at the bullet. Looks at the map. You hold these two things, and maybe it takes you a minute to process all of this and the things that Machiavelli found, but Lucas speeds up and he's like,
Yeah.
all right, we're out of here.
No, we have to go.
And Lucas drives off down the road and is like, I think look, Willow, I'm pretty hungry. I think we're gonna head back to the art gallery.
We can head back.
You head
Okay.
back,
Oh, God.
and we end the scene on that. Willow holding on to these 2 items, not sure what to do next, confused, and pensive on the next moves, on how she should strike the hunters with the anarchs. And we cut to the last of our 4, Dorian, who is with Marcus this evening, as Marcus came to pick you up, informed you last night that your wife wanted to see you, and picks you up and drives out of the city to Naperville, where she has been staying in a family home alongside your children.
Okay. How late is it? Is it late enough to
It's just
early enough to
at
see the kids?
Yeah, it's just at their bedtime. She tends to keep them up a bit later than she should probably. It's
Mhm.
getting to be like 11, almost midnight, and she's getting ready to put them to bed.
Okay. Because usually Dorian only gets about 30 minutes with them or so before they have to go to sleep. So they're still young. But yeah, so I guess if it's at that time and they're already going to bed, then yeah, he'll hug his wife, give her a kiss and greet her as usual.
She hugs you as well, and it's been quite a few nights since I've seen you. You've been busy?
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit. But things are getting better, I think.
Good. I'm glad to hear that they're getting better. That's positive news.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I just, the kids have started back in school again, or at least preschool, I should say. And it's just, I don't know, another year of them being here, and was just thinking about our family.
I've been thinking about that a lot too. I'm sorry I've been distant recently.
Look, now that I know the truth, it doesn't have to be how it was previously. I don't have to fight and argue. You're not keeping secrets from me. So I understand.
We should just do this now, I guess. Let's sit down. Actually, you know what? Do you want a drink?
A drink? I haven't really been drinking much lately. But sure, yeah.
Okay.
Is
And
everything
Dorian's gonna grab he's gonna grab like good scotch, the stuff they got from their wedding, like a gift from Jacques. And he's gonna pour a glass for each of them.
okay? She takes it.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna blush of life.
Yes, if you would like to drink.
Let's do that. Okay. That's a fail.
She sits on the couch with the scotch and looks at you. Is everything all right?
Addie, I've kept things vague about this life. Kept details hidden, and not really because I wanted to, but I thought it would keep you safe. And I know that's not fair to you. So I have to ask you something, but there's not really any way that you can give a real answer if you don't know everything. Dad never gave us a choice about this life. It was forced on us. And Dorian will start to tell her literally everything. He's generally kept like details, like vague, but starting with like the night of his embrace, he's going to like hold nothing back, like how his father fed from him without any warning, how scared he was, and how he thought he was going to die, and how he woke up hungry. And
Do you
yeah,
tell the stuff about your mother and that whole thing? Do you get into those details too?
yes, I think I would talk. I mean, I don't think I'm telling it all chronologically, but
Mhm.
yeah, I would talk about that. I would mention my mother and what happened, but I would talk a lot about the initially what I'm talking about now is the early experience of like what it felt like when we first were embraced. And yeah, that hunger, Adeline, that doesn't go away. It's it changes you.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know if she has anything to say about this so
She
far.
just is like, you can tell it is a lot for her to process. She just says it doesn't seem real, all of this that you're telling me. Seems like a bad nightmare.
It's not all bad, though. Dad didn't give us a choice, but if he had,
Would you have taken it?
Adeline, a lot of people say that they're going to love each other forever. But how many people actually have the opportunity?
Depends on what forever means to you.
I mean, eternity. As long as we're careful.
I think I know what you're getting at here, Dorian. What is it that's good about this? You said it's not all bad. Tell me about the good.
Well, like I said, we have eternity. And the things that I can do, the things that we can do, this family, this wealth, it's not the power that we thought it was, Adeline. I mean, we wanted to build something for our family. But it really is nothing compared to the power that these kindred hold, the power that our family holds.
So what is this to you? Is this for your name? Your family name?
It's for everything. It's all of it. It's the safety, it's the power, the comfort, security, whatever you want to call it. It's everything. It's all of it. I mean, what? I'm under no illusions as to why we started dating. I mean, I know you wanted the same goals. You had the same goals that I did.
Yes, I did. We did, and I do agree with you. And when you say your father didn't give you a choice, in a way, he didn't give this family a choice. Me as well. I've been brought into this one way or another, whether you told me about it or not. I have to live with never seeing my husband during the day ever again. I have to live with all of the events that we're going to take our children to that you won't be able to attend. I have to think about if they get married one day, we're going to have a night wedding. These are the things that I have to think about, and I didn't have a choice either. But I understand the thought of eternity and its appeal. When Remy got sick, and I thought he could have died, and he could have if I didn't take him to a hospital. And I thought, what if somebody could help him? That's why I asked your brother. And just last week, I had my checkup, my normal checkup, and they found this thing on me that is benign, thankfully. You know, it's not anything worse. But what if it was? What if it was cancer? What if it was something? My body is frail and aging. And I have thought about it. The thought of eternity, where I don't have to have a frail, aging body. But I don't know. I don't know if that is more valuable to me, or being able to see my children during the day is more valuable to me. And thinking about if I get old and die, and our kids do, will you still be here past all of that? Past our children's lives? Is that how that's going to be?
It doesn't have to be. This family has I guess a special exemption when it comes to embracing its own bloodline.
You're right. I didn't even think about that. All this that you're telling me, what your father did to you and your siblings, he would do the same to our children. He would do that, Dorian.
I'm not gonna let that happen, Adeline. He's not gonna get that chance. He's gonna be taken care of well before he has that opportunity. They're still young. And anyway, none of this matters unless we take care of Dad. This isn't even on the table. And I'm not sure, at this point, I'm sure Dorian has explained most of what's gone on.
Yeah. I know that you're going to take care of it. But is that it? Does it end there? Does this familial cycle, is that where this all ends? With you and your siblings?
If we take care of Dad, then it's our choice. And it's their choice. If you want to tell the kids what we are at some point, then we will make sure that we have the power to do that.
Yeah. The choice. That's what's most important.
Well, I don't. You don't have to answer now. I don't want to rush you. I just things are moving fast, and I just want to know where we stand.
Yeah. I would. What do you think, Dorian? What do you want for this? I wish I could talk to somebody about it, but I can't even talk to my therapist about it because she would probably throw me in somewhere, because if I told her all of the things, and I can't talk to anybody about this and get any other input. I just want somebody to give me some advice, and nobody can.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if there's any advice that anyone could give you. I think it's just about what you want. I want you to be with me forever. That's what I want.
I do want that. I just worried about our children. If it's both of us, they'll never have a normal life, just like the four of you.
Okay.
So, I don't know if this is something I want.
You're sure?
No. I will say that if something happens to me and I'm dying, then maybe yeah. if I'm on my deathbed and something's about to happen, Dorian, then maybe you need to do it. You be the one to do it. If I'm on my deathbed. Because I don't want it to be over at that point. I would like to continue. But for now, I want to be there for our children.
Okay. I guess there's one other thing that we could do. And he would well, you remember what I told you about Marcus and Lucas, right? And he would explain how,
Yeah.
you know, he's able to give them.
Yeah, it's a very interesting thought. I wouldn't be against that. It seems to be working well for Marcus. He hasn't aged in 40 years. He looks great.
It's just I want you to have every option available to you.
I'd want to stay with you, Dorian. And I think something like that, it doesn't seem as final, you know? Because with you, there's no going back. So I'd be willing to accept that. Be like Marcus and Lucas.
Okay. I think we should I want to make sure you fully understand what that means here too. Because I'm just realizing, since we glossed over some of it, if Dorian did describe like the full nature of being a ghoul.
Yes. So you're saying you want to like make sure.
I just want to double check like she understands that there is like a power dynamic there.
Yes.
Also.
Yes, she will need your blood like a drug.
Yeah.
Yes. So yes, we should probably go over all of those, but it doesn't, like, why don't we just do it now? I don't see why that would be an issue.
Technically, I would need permission from the prince, but
yeah, that's very strange, but
I don't think that actually matters. If you want to do this now, I'm ready.
Look, if it works for Marcus, and I've seen that man take bullets. So I think I want to do this.
Okay.
Got to see what it's all about, right? You know, the whole.
Yeah.
So
you know,
wait,
maybe this'll
I have to
see
like,
this as like a test run.
yeah, like I can't imagine blood tastes good, you know. So that's the thing here. I'm
You
almost
know,
more curious than anything.
it's an acquired taste.
Mm. Or maybe if I
You
hate it.
know, after I was embraced, the closest I can describe it is I don't know, that feeling you get when you smell fresh baked bread. You know,
That is a good taste and feeling. So
you want
let let's try it.
to. Right? And Dorian's gonna roll up his sleeve, and he's going to get close to Adeline, and he's going to look at her and take a bite out of his wrist and offer it to her.
Hey, here we go. And she pauses for a minute as it just again is like a very strange thing for her. She stares at the vitae dripping from your wrist and she pauses. She takes a bit on her finger first and tastes it. And you see a smile and she almost laughs for a minute like I guess it's true. This does not taste like what is it? Metallic. there's no metallic at all. That's so weird. And she continues to feed from you, Dorian. And you watch your wife take more and more, and you don't see her retch or repulse. She just continues. And I would say she takes enough to bump you up one in hunger.
Oh boy.
What you at?
I may be at 4 hunger.
you're. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, right, because you roused.
Aroused. So
oh,
I may.
lordy.
Oh,
I may
he
be at 4.
hungry.
Oh, lordy. She feeds from you. And
Bread is sounding good right now.
yes. I don't think you would have a reaction to your own blood, your own vitae. Because I think at the sight of blood at Hunger 4, you could invoke a frenzy, but your own vitae, that does not seem like it would make sense. So you.
But I do feel noticeably hungrier.
But you do feel noticeably hungrier, and you lick your own wound closed, and she looks at you, and you notice just a slight change in her structure of the bones on her face.
Did you like that?
Yes, actually. This is like, was that good, baby?
Was it? Because it looks like it was good.
Yeah.
I don't think I let Marcus drink that much.
Well, it tasted good, so I kept going. The bread thing, I thought about it, and you were right. Look, audience, okay, these scenes are never normal, okay? This is Vampire the Masquerade, and there's always those fucking weird scenes in Vampire the Masquerade. And we love that about this game. And we're
weird. It's just a husband and a wife.
Dad, she's a mom. Yeah, there's
Yeah. This is just a husband and a wife
They got
together.
4
Healthy
kids.
communication.
They got 4 kids. How do you know?
4 kids, y'all.
I trust them.
They've had times.
So, okay, so I don't know how I'm supposed to feel next, but I guess I'll let you know if anything changes. I guess you said that I'm gonna have to do this more regularly. I'm gonna get cravings like an addict.
Once a month, I think. It's not too bad.
Okay. And I don't age, and I'm able to do some things that you can do.
I think so, yes. And I can give her either Dominate or Fortitude, is that how
Yes.
that works? And it would be like, what would she, I already forgot. What was it? If she gets like Dominate, she would get like Compel?
Yes, she could get Compel or Cloud Memory.
Okay. Ooh. Or I could give her Unswayable Mind or Toughness.
Which you can think
Um,
about what you want to give her. You don't have to decide that right now. I think it'll be a couple of nights. This transition is going to happen. And she may need your guidance on how these disciplines work.
Okay. Well, I'll check in with you every night and we'll talk it through.
Okay. This is a good next step, Dorian. I'm happy we did this.
Yeah.
Are you
me
gonna?
too. I feel safer
Yeah.
for you and the kids.
Are you gonna come by again?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, good.
I'm gonna come back tomorrow night and the night
Good.
after.
Good. I look forward to it.
And Dorian's gonna give her a hug. He's gonna grab her by the shoulder and pull her head in. And I think they'll sit there for a while. And I think they'll talk and sit for a bit. Dorian doesn't have anywhere to be tonight, right?
No, you do not.
Okay. Then for like once, Dorian's gonna spend most of the night there. Yeah, he's gonna spend the night there.
You spend the night at your home, actually at your wife's family home in Naperville, and it's nice. You get to be with your wife for the evening, and she puts all of the blackout curtains and closes every single window. God, words. Every window in the house for the next day. And that is where we will end this scene. and take a break. And when we get back, the coterie will reconvene. Hopefully, they all show up, you know? That's their prerogative. But they, you know, they got their own plans, obviously. But for now, we will take a break. And when we get back, we will continue with the second half of Ancestral Blood. So, BRB, everybody. Welcome back, everybody, to Ancestral Blood. Quick re-go through the announcements before we dive into our second half of the session. And this is especially for those watching on YouTube, because we usually cut the early announcements for the YouTube. But so everybody knows, on YouTube, Ancestral Blood is going to be on a couple weeks break, just because our schedules, all the players and GM schedule, are not aligning for the next couple of Fridays due to travel and other things. So we will be back on October 4th for our next episode of Ancestral Blood. So it is about a month. This is our only episode for September. But of course, take the time to catch up if you need to on this show or other shows on MagiRPG during our time off. Because I know there's quite a few of you who are like, I need to catch up. It's like, well, now's the time to do it. Because once we're back in October, shit hits the fan. So get ready and catch up while you can. Of course, if you want to watch our other live stream shows that we have live now, we have Ignite Recall, which is our Scum and Villainy campaign that is happening on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. So tune into that this coming Tuesday, and the next couple of Tuesdays it will be around. So that's our only show for September for now, unless something else pops up. UsulBard is also streaming on Saturday nights. He's just doing some chill streams on the channel where he's playing through VTM Bloodlines, and technically not his first time, but it's been like 20 years since he last played, so it's kind of like a fresh playthrough. So if you want to just chill and hang out, watch him play through Bloodlines, join us on Saturdays when he's hopping on to play. And the last thing that we have is October 3rd is our next Defend Your Romance, which will be the Dragon Age Defend Your Romance. So if you enjoyed the last one, that was Mass Effect, you can join us for another BioWare title of Dragon Age. We particularly chose 2 BioWare titles just because they have a lot of great romances, but we will have a vote on which we want to do next, and it will not be BioWare. We obviously have many other options and are taking suggestions. So join us in the Discord if you have your own suggestions, or if you just want to hang out and talk to us, discord.gg/MagiRPG. So that's everything. And now let us dive back into Ancestral Blood. You know what? I just realized it's going to be a new night. Do I want it to be a new night, Silas, or do you want to do this on the night that you talk to Deucible?
It'd probably be the same night.
The same night. Okay, so we won't have you rouse. We bring ourselves back to the chantry, where we see Silas with his homunculus in the lab, looking at some of the papers and things that he's been going through for various rituals. One that you have particularly been looking at is a particular ritual that would allow you to bind yourself to a dagger and use that dagger. Hold on. I actually was just looking this up. Hold on. I gotta go back to my message with Josh. I was like, Josh, give me some Tremere spells. Because Silas is asking, and he's my Tremere expert.
Thanks, Josh.
Yeah, it's I know which one it is.
The blade one. The blade one. Yes. Yep. One with the blade.
Yep.
That can bind a blade to you, as well as one that could even make your hands blades. And you've been thinking about a more offensive blood magic, as Tremere generally aren't ones to be on the offense, but with the situation with your family in these past nights, it's something you've been considering more and more of. And you see these ritual spells, and you know it's going to take a while if you wanted to learn something like this, but it's at least here in the chantry, there is access to it. You have it available to study and learn, but it will take time. But it's here in your notes.
Well,
And what
putting
would
my
you like to do?
he's gonna sit there looking at, these two that he has found. Interesting. Putting my essence into a blade. Or causing my hands to become blades. The former rather than the latter, that sounds awful.
You think and ponder on this, and you stare down the hallway right outside the door, and you hear footsteps walking and a door close. It looks like Simone is down the hallway.
He's going to, even though he doesn't breathe, he's going to take a deep breath and dust himself off. And he's going to get up. He's going to go find her.
You see her down the hall, and she has a stack of books in her hand and a briefcase. And as you walk, and she hears the footsteps and turns and looks at you and makes eye contact for a second, but then looks away.
Do you need a hand with those?
She pauses, and she also takes a sigh. Similar to you, it's still a habit, especially for younger neonates, to take those moments to sigh and breathe, even though you don't have to. And she does. Yeah, I suppose it might be helpful. Yes, thanks.
Let me help you.
She hands you some of the books.
Can I take a quick peek to what they are?
You little... Yeah, you can. Roll me a wits investigation.
I'm not like snooping, but like she's handing me books. I'm gonna look at the covers.
Hey, nerd.
3 successes.
3 successes. Yes, you notice that one of the books is the book stacked on the top is another one. It's one about the history of Tremere. And below that, you see on the binding of the book something about Vienna.
This is a good one.
Which one?
The one on top here.
The history. Yeah, I figured it would be good to learn about everything we've been through. I know we talked a bit about it the other night. I don't know, the whole Diablerie thing's been on my mind a lot lately.
What's your favorite part? Besides the Diablerie, of course.
I think my favorite part is knowing that we're different, you know? Like, if you look at some of these other old books, they talk about things that go back to biblical times, and it's kind of weird. But nothing on our history is there. You know, we come into the scene much later. And We've kind of forged our own path. I think that's the most interesting thing to me.
That's funny. That's also my favorite thing. How, like you said, Ventrue, Toreador, all their stuff starts with, or rather ends with, a BC, where ours starts in 1022. Thousands of years after they roamed the night and had their power. It's almost funny when you think about how far Clan Tremere has come, but they have thousands of years of a head start, but yet we're right there next to them. Kind of makes you think.
Yeah. Where will we be in another 1,000 years? 2,000 years?
Maybe at the top.
Maybe.
Where are you headed with all this stuff? So I can carry it to where you're going.
I was just going back to my desk in the garden.
Mind if I join you?
Sure. Yeah, that would be great. Two of you head in to the garden. It's pretty quiet in here. You actually don't even see Sunchi in the room. And you head to her desk in the back corner of the greenhouse, and you notice it's empty.
I'd imagine there'd be like clippings and dirt samples and stuff since you're in the greenhouse.
Yeah, Silas, I'm thinking of moving again.
Yeah. UsulBard had mentioned that. Why? You're very welcome here. You're a good Tremere.
I guess she pauses, and you can tell there's something she wants to say, but she's having a really hard time saying it.
It's fine. I understand. Coming from New Orleans to here. Look, I know it's not much. I know my input doesn't matter. But if there's anything I can do, I'd like you to stay. And it's not for the clan, not for the numbers of Tremere in the city. I like you, Simone. And it would hurt to see you go. Whether you're in the greenhouse or back in the lab. When I walk through those front doors every night, and I glance in the greenhouse, and see you just cutting those roses, I like that. Just that one glance. And I go to my lab and I work with Silas III on whatever we're doing. But honestly, it honestly makes my night a little bit. Away from my family shit and the shit outside those doors. And I'm not trying to stop you from going, but if you were to go, I just needed to tell you how I felt.
So you're saying these words to her. You see Simone trembling a bit, her hands shaking, and she was looking at you when you are saying these things, and then she looks down at the ground, trying to cover one small tear of blood that streams from her eye. I'm just scared. That's all. I'm scared. I'm scared of what's going to happen to the city. I've seen the city get ravaged by powerful forces once before. And when I went to see your family and you took me out that night, and I've heard the rumblings around the chantry. I've heard what Deucible's talking about. I know something's coming, Silas. And I don't want to be here to see another city get ravaged by something none of us can stop.
I don't want to see that either. And I'd do my best to protect you if the time came. Look, I know we're young. I know we don't know everything, but there's something to say about the rituals we've done together. And if there's anything us Tremere can do, is learn rituals that can protect one another. You know, after you left the lab, I gave up on Le Sang de l'Amour. I felt like I didn't deserve to learn it. But I think together we can save this city. We can do anything, Simone. And he will hold both palms up to her trembling hand. May I?
She nods.
And he'll take her hand. Don't go. Stay.
She holds your hand and she leans in closer to you.
Silas would lean closer.
I don't want to go.
Then stay here with me. You still have a desk in the lab if you want it. Silas III's been calling you family for the last 4 weeks, and every time he says it, it hurts.
When you say that, she smiles a bit, but you still see a tear of blood on her face.
And he'd wipe it away.
I believe you, Silas. I've seen what you can do.
And I'm telling the truth. But like I said, I'm a fan of choices. I'll be here if you need me. I needed to say that before you left.
She nods. I finished it. The ritual.
I would love for you to teach me it.
I can try.
I believe you. I trust you, Simone.
He smiles.
And whenever you're ready, you know where to find me.
Yeah.
And he'll walk away back to his lab.
You leave, and as you head back to the lab and you see Silas the Third.
Are we alone in the lab?
Yes.
Silas will lick his thumb.
Okay.
And he's going to cast Taste for Blood.
Oh, okay. All right, Silas. Damn. Okay. You took Simone's blood, you little sneak. Look, guys, what they say about Tremere is true. They're all slimy.
All nasty, nasty evil.
Nefarious.
Every single one of them. Okay, they all come from the same antediluvian.
That's right.
Okay, so
Look, he doesn't know a lot about her, and he saw an opportunity. Everything he said was
I'm gonna
truthful.
get to know the girl I like.
Yeah.
The normal way. Not a weird way.
So, resolve blood sorcery for this.
7 successes.
7 successes. My God. Okay.
The user dabs the blood on their tongue and makes a resolve blood sorcery test, difficulty 3. With the win, the user can determine the resonance and intensity of the blood if human. Belongs to a mortal, ghoul, vampire. Tasting the vitae also determines the relative blood potency. A critical win also reveals whether the subject has ever committed diablerie and the generation within one of the vampire.
Okay.
That was a critical success. So give me everything you know on Simone. Anything that would stand out, essentially. If she's just normal, you can just say, no, she's a normal neonate.
You gather that her generation is 12.
Okay.
She is at blood potency 2. And from this, you discern that she has committed diablerie.
Oh boy.
So she's about the same as Dorian in the blood potency, the generation, and that she's committed diablerie once.
End scene.
What's that?
No! Continue scene! Continue scene!
Interesting.
And on that, we cut to Vital Medical Group.
Ugh.
The lovely Vital Medical Group. The company has just had its H1 planning meetings and wrapped all of the H1 planning for the second half of the year. And it was just, there were some bumps in the road, but overall came out a success for the first half of the year. And the company is having a small, not public, not like the last one, a small gathering for all of the board members of Vital, alongside all of the partners, to discuss and celebrate the successful first half of the year and discuss some of the planning for the second half. And Dorian, you are there, and your siblings were invited to this event as well. Whether or not they show up is one thing, but they do have stakes in Vital Medical Group in one way or another.
Well, they're always invited. Sometimes they show up, when they can be convinced.
Silas, though, his, well, I guess that's for the greater company, not for Vital. I think his, still negotiating to do between you and your brother on him giving over his shares, but that transition hasn't yet happened.
Mhm.
And some details of that do eventually need to be discussed. But
I think technically Silas has a position at Vital, so he hasn't given that up yet. So
Yes.
I mean,
I think he
he's
could still go to the meetings either way.
Yeah, and
No one's gonna tell him
also
no.
I kind of feel like
Don't you know who I am?
yeah,
I'm
I kind of feel like he would be
Lysander.
yeah, if anyone asked me, he's not like disinvited, I mean, it would be great if he came. It'd keep up appearances. It'd look better,
Yeah.
I'll be there.
so you're there at the meeting. You're mingling with some of the other board members, and Val and Willow eventually arrive.
Of course.
You see your sisters arrive together to show face, if not make any decisions. At least they're just there to kind of show face for the evening.
Gotta give the
I
people what they
appreciate-
want.
I appreciate
Love
you
a
guys
party.
came to this one.
Yeah. Been a minute. Last one we went to, though, there was a fire, so I assume you have security this time? Better security?
McCarthy's handling it.
Then I trust it.
You see her with like an M16 just sitting there.
Yeah, for real though.
I would trust
she's
her with my
organizing this event, and she's security has been, of course, a higher priority since our previous gala.
That's good. We should talk about things that concern that, actually, at some point.
Well, that's why I'm glad you came, actually. So maybe we should head to the back.
Sure, meet you there in 5. Should wander off to do a little round about the room.
Mm-hmm. And Dorian is just looking around the room at a room full of his preferred feeding type at hunger level 4, and he is just salivating
Yeah.
right now.
That's
He
right.
is absolutely chomping at the bit. He wants to feed. So he's gonna linger a bit, looking at some nice necks.
Oh wait, did
and
we
then
need
he's
to
gonna
rouse
move
check?
on.
Isn't this a different night?
I think
This
this would be the next night.
This would be
Oh,
the next
shit.
night.
Oh
So actually, yes.
boy.
We would all rouse.
Sorry, Dorian.
Thanks, May, for reminding me.
I'm a hunger 1.
If Dorian gets the hunger 5, he will remember this.
Oh, now
Oh,
I'm
he
at hunger
failed.
2.
Oh.
Actually, I failed again.
I failed.
Oh god.
I'm on
Oh,
hunger
God.
4 now.
Oh. Yeah.
I
So,
succeeded.
when
I'm-
did this rouse check happen at
Yeah.
At the start
like
of the
right
night?
now?
Woken up,
At this-
right?
Did it,
Yeah.
Did it happen right now? Because I guess like we can't go back. So I guess
Here we are.
here we are. So yeah,
Whoa,
I'm
whoa,
eyeing
rewind.
all of these tasty
You were
people.
out with your wife last night, and you had to get all the way back into the city for this meeting, so you had no time to stop and feed.
No, I did not. I did not.
Oh,
So
no.
I'm looking around the room. I mention how hungry I am, and it just sets in. I am really fucking hungry, like incredibly. So at hunger 5, that's it, right?
That's
pretty
where the sight
losing
of
it.
blood will make you frenzy. Yes. So-
Okay, but I have
Yes.
okay.
Yes, and if you try to feed
No
from
one's bleeding, right?
and if you try to feed from somebody, you will have to resist frenzy to not kill them. So
Okay.
whoever you feed from next is in danger.
Willow will nudge
Sorry,
you.
We're jumping at hunger 0. What
You
happened?
look pretty bad.
Everybody, be real. Everybody, be real careful.
Yeah.
As you're walking around. Don't trip.
you
there.
okay over there?
You're just white knuckling the desk, just staring at
Just
people.
yeah.
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 Like SpongeBob when he's dehydrated, just
People are like talking about the quarterly earnings, and I'm just like, yeah,
Fucking twitching.
Okay. got it. Cool. Okay. Yeah. See ya. Yeah. Good night. And I'm just gonna wander off to the back. White knuckle in it.
After probably like 30, 40, like an hour into this event, eventually showing face as well, your brother, Silas, enters in.
Damn it, I can't drag a body back into the room without Silas is here.
sorry I'm late.
Oh,
It's fine.
I didn't expect to see you here.
I was invited.
Well, I wasn't thinking you'd actually come, but I do appreciate
I
that.
can leave if you want.
No.
No.
Invitation was sincere. I appreciate it.
It's a social gathering, Sai. Can you blame him?
What does that mean?
Okay, I guess you can. I mean, for thinking that you wouldn't come, I'm.
Ooh.
Oh,
never
no,
mind,
no.
okay.
For now, I still have some stake at the company.
Okay.
Right.
Well,
Can we go to the back room?
yeah.
Please.
Are we back there? Yeah.
Let's go
Yes.
now.
Yeah, do you need us
You-
back there?
Mm.
Okay.
We moved back.
Now that the 4 siblings has arrived, this is normal for you guys to have family meetings. And so, Dorian, you take your leave from the executives here, and the 4 of you head to the back room, to your office room, because this is taking place at the company HQ, even though it's kind of decorated nicely for kind of a soiree. But you head to your office.
Well, like I said, I'm glad you came, and I guess I'll just cut to the chase here. I think it's time to make a move on Dad. I mean, it's gonna take some planning and setup, but I think now's the time.
Okay, how?
Correct. What's your plan?
Well, first, I need to talk to the prince, and I need to make sure that we have his blessing for this, and that we're secured protection in the Camarilla. That's the first step. But while that's happening, we need to be ready with a plan, and I think that means we're going to need help. All of us know different people and have different resources here. Willow, the Anarchs, Silas, the Chantry, and Val. I don't know if Helena... You know what? I'll let you come to the table with that if you have anything there. But
Quick, is Bijan very low for anybody else?
He is, yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I
Okay.
can hear him very well.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I was
what?
I need you to yell.
I'm like,
I could hear you, but it was very low.
I'm like listening to the
Helena.
plan intently. Like, yeah.
We're all wrapped.
All leaning in for the
truly.
suspense.
Yeah.
so we need to go to the prince with some kind of idea of what we can do, or at least be ready when he gives us the go ahead. So
And if he
I
doesn't,
think that's what we do.
what if he says no?
I think. Why would he say no? I don't think he will.
Just proposing it.
Now, Willow has a point, and it's better to ask forgiveness than permission.
I
Sometimes.
think that doesn't apply to killing a kindred.
Sure, but we certainly can't do it if the prince says no. Right?
Well, if the
would
prince
be a
says,
Are we sure
problem.
he'll say yes?
I don't think he has a better option. I think as long as Dad has this power, he either has to contend with Dad or with us. And that's what I'm going to offer him.
So
But
we just have to be more agreeable than Dad.
yeah, and it would help.
Not hard.
It would help if we had clout to back that up.
Right.
I've got support from Sovereign and Ballard, and I could probably drum up some more support. If you all, and Caden as well. But if you all could bring something to the table, I mean, with all of us together, with all of our resources, I mean, we have a chance to bring Dad down. We can do this. He's not invincible.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose so, but what does that mean, Dorian? Are we going to just walk into his house with an army, or are you going to do it alone, or what?
We stake him. That's what we do. We neutralize him. And then we offer him to the prince and let the prince decide what that punishment is.
you're forgetting one major detail. Do you think his Lysander pet is going to give him up willingly?
We'd have to fight her too.
All the more reason we need help. And I think we need to find more information on her. Maybe before we talk to the prince. I can lean on Sovereign and Ballard and see if there's anything that I can learn there.
So that's the extent of your plan?
This is the plan right now, is get permission and secure our assets. Once we know what we have, I mean, if the Anarchs are in, I mean, we can't really make a plan until we figure out who's in the game.
Right. Then you asked what we could bring to the table, and I have an offer.
Okay.
I have found where the hunters are operating in the city.
That's a big offer.
Yeah. Have the plates of their vehicles. Was gonna run them tomorrow night. And if I had to guess, a whole bunch of hunters' weapons that are stored in there. Spoke to a young woman that they kidnapped and killed. She was the child of the Malkavian primogen. The hunters took her and killed her.
How did you speak to
So-
her then?
Through the web.
And it's trustworthy?
It is. You know how you spoke with Alan?
That was through a Hakata.
It's a different way to do that.
I mean, are her powers any less trustworthy than yours?
I wasn't
My point-
questioning her powers, Dorian. I was questioning
I'm not trying to
the
start
web.
something. I was just asking.
My point is, the hunters kidnapped and tortured and killed the child of the Malkavian primogen. And now I know exactly where those hunters are and their store full of weapons. That seems pretty valuable to the prince, and in turn gives us a whole multitude, a whole building's worth of hunters' weapons that are specifically designed to kill things like us, which right now we're trying to do with Dad.
But
Would
Here's
you
the
like
key.
more?
Here's the
I-
thing, though. Whatever plan we come up with, this, ancient power that Dad's threatening them with, we have to keep that. Right? Without that, we don't have
Right.
a
Well-
standing. There's no reason for the prince to deal with us. There's no reason for him to give us any status or standing in the Camarilla. He's finally rid of an annoyance if we help him out with Dad. That power is our ticket. That's our key.
Okay.
you guys forget that the prince... Dad said that the prince is already planning to deal with the hunters, offering up one or two kindred that have irked him in exchange for them fucking off.
I don't think that that's the case. The hunters are still intending. Oh, I sent Maki in,
Okay.
and she will produce from her purse the map of the torn map of the park with Wolf on the back written. She won't hand it over, but she will show it.
Are we familiar with this park?
Yes, that is the park that was previously Anarchs were hiding in, and you've learned that there was also lupine sighting there as well.
Kind of where it all
Mhm.
started.
Kind of where it all started for you guys.
Got it. Okay.
This park,
This fucking park.
they're intending. Through the research that Adder and I have been doing, the hunters intend to move on us in about 2 weeks' time.
And what they're gonna attack a park?
We found documents that suggest they knew where the last Elysium was.
That is important. That is good.
And
Okay.
that park,
That's huge.
I've had visions of this park. I have it every time. Without fail, when I try and look into Adder's future, I see him at that damn park with a lupine, and there used to be a figure with a crossbow that I couldn't tell who it was. It's the hunters. That's where they're gonna strike. The place that we just got for the Camarilla.
Okay, so tell Adder to take a 3-week vacation and don't go to that park.
Well, of course, yes, but my point is that's where they're going to strike.
It's an opportunity.
So there's
Yeah.
lupine and there's hunters in this park. So we go to the south side for the night.
No,
Yes,
no.
But
This is
also,
information that can
this
help
is
us.
invaluable information.
No,
But it-
no.
But here's the thing: it only helps us if we act on it quickly. If the prince finds out we're sitting on this, I mean, we're in trouble. I mean, that might as well be treason. I mean,
I
ideally,
agree.
this is not something. I mean, this is only bargaining information if we go pretty much now.
And
I mean, we can maybe sit on this for a night or two, but we should probably take this right to the prince.
I want to take a step back and talk about the power that you have. Are you going to
Okay.
reveal that to the prince?
I'm pretty sure he already knows. Silas, I think we were some of the last to know.
Then what's stopping him from wanting to blood bond you so he has that control? What if that is
I
part
won't
of the
agree to it.
deal?
I won't agree to it.
And what if he says no? We're back at square one.
Exactly.
Then he's got to deal with Dad, and he's back at square one.
And then we're back to where we started.
I gotta trust the hand that we have right now. I think it's a good hand. I think this is the right move for both of us, and the prince will see that. I mean, he doesn't really have. If he wants to keep dealing with Dad, he's gonna find out what we've already found out, which is that he's willing to do anything.
Okay. Look, I don't think it's a bad idea, and I really don't have anything better. I just think there's a lot of what ifs.
I agree.
Okay.
There is. We still
No,
don't
you're right.
exactly know if the prince likes us either.
I remember that
The
one
Lysanders
premonition
will
that you got.
get
Yes.
what they deserve.
Yes.
He didn't say that though, right?
He did.
I thought it was the
I thought it was
shadowy
the
figure.
The shadowy figure.
No, I thought it was the prince that said that.
It was him talking to a shadowy figure.
He was speaking
And
to
he's-
someone saying the Lysanders
he-
would get what they deserve.
He did say that, yes.
Okay.
Ooh.
We just have to convince him what we all know, which is that the Lysanders is not our father. Whatever the Lysanders deserve, I'm sure that's him.
Wait. What if Sierra's in on this? What if that shadowy figure in your vision was Sierra? Look, I don't know
She's
what
a Lysander.
I don't know what Lysander can do.
Maybe that's why I couldn't see her in my premonition then.
They're all about shadows and darkness and shit.
I wonder if I could touch her if it would be the same. Huh.
What if the prince is 2 steps ahead of us already? Has a mole in with Dad?
What if he already intends on taking him out? Yeah. In which case he probably doesn't want any Lysander in power.
Why would he want anyone to have that power? And someone he can control, better to just get rid of it altogether.
Yeah.
But then they'd
Oh.
have to get rid of me too. It's not just Dad.
Yes, the Lysanders, not
Not
Just Dad.
Lysander. Just Lysanders.
And
In
my
which
kids.
case, they might be
Probably.
safe. Well, they're mortal.
but maybe. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Your wife and kids might be safe, but I don't know about you. I really don't know. You are possibly the second in line for most threatening, actually. Especially if he knows what you can do.
Well, I don't think
I
we
don't
should
know.
take this to him at all then.
I don't know if that feels. If they could take care of this power so easily, I mean, the Dad wouldn't have any threat to stand, like any legs to stand on.
Maybe they've accounted for that.
Look, she practically already controls him. Excuse me, she practically already controls him.
Her name's in all the shit around here.
Surely the prince doesn't think we're as strong as he is. I'm sure he considers himself better competition for Dad.
Huh.
You didn't see how some of those people looked at me and how they look at Dad.
I have
There's
no
real
doubt that
fear.
they're scared.
No, not just scared. The type of fear that power that we felt when we saw Helena, that crippling, crushing, overbearing power. I mean, that's what we're dealing with here. You guys realize that, right?
Yeah.
I just don't think we need the prince's protection when we have Helena's, as long as we get this job done. We'll be fine. They promised. Annabelle promised.
I mean, we can't burn every bridge in the Camarilla. I mean, Helena is not... She's not even public. She's hiding herself.
For
now.
good reason, I imagine.
I'm just saying we can't hitch our ride 100% to that horse. I'm glad that we have another powerful ally, but we can't put all our eggs in that basket.
Let's see a better basket.
I still think we should go through the prince. If he says no, if he's working against us, okay, then we have to pull our move anyway. We're in the same position. If we're going to have to ask for forgiveness, it doesn't matter at that point because we'll be holding the same gun to their head that Dad is.
Yeah, but then he'll know our moves if we trust him, right? How do we find out that he's not with us without?
Hey, thanks for the raid, Sky.
Hey,
going on
thanks
here?
for the
Hi,
raid.
Hello.
Hello, we're discussing how to
Welcome.
kill. We're discussing how to murder our father.
Well,
We're talking
just,
about
just typical
murder.
VTM things.
Just murdering.
I lost the train of thought on that conversation there. I'm sorry.
You said we should still
You
side
said
with
we
the
should still go
prince.
Friends,
We
yeah.
should still side with the prince. I still feel like that's the right move.
Even
Because if we're
though
gonna go,
he may not be on our side.
I mean, we're not gonna tell him the plan. I mean, it's a risk. Right now, the prince is not 100% sure. Well, maybe he might know at this point, but they're not 100% sure where this family stands, if we're with Dad or not. If he's planning against Dad, and we can let him know that we are on his
Or
side,
also, okay.
it's a risk. I'm not gonna pretend it isn't. I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah, but there's no way that there isn't a risk, no matter what we choose. Just gotta minimize it.
If we go to the prince, Helena is not a playing card for us to use. She's one we have to keep hidden. So don't count on that if that's the way we go.
Well, I still think we should ask her for help, but I don't plan on making that part of the pitch to the prince.
Then what's your pitch?
Well, my pitch is that we'll handle it, and if he asks for some details, I can maybe tell him we have some help from the chantry, maybe that we have some help from the anarchs. That's not that crazy. There's no way in hell I'm bringing up Helena.
For your own safety. That is a warning, not a threat, you know. You all saw her.
Yeah.
So your pitch is, "Hi, Prince. We hate our dad.
we're going to move against him. Here's what we have. Are you with us or not? Yes? In
Are we all around?
more businessy speak.
Just about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. And I might be. It's been a couple days since I had that terrifying conversation. Didn't Helena specifically say she wanted Dad dead?
She did.
And what happens if you take Dad and bring him to the prince and he keeps him alive?
Ooh.
How likely is that?
She also wanted us to fuck with Caden too.
Correct.
That's the deal we agreed to with her.
Okay. But I think we cross that bridge when we come to it. I think there's a high probability that Dad is sentenced to final death.
For what? What crime has he committed to the Camarilla? Because he can control a Methuselah?
Oh, I'm sure we can find a
Look,
crime.
I'm
sure he can buy his way out.
not bringing up.
He must have been threatening people for them to be scared of him like this.
I'm not bringing
He's
up.
making moves.
Is
I'm
that
not bringing up.
illegal?
I'm not bringing up blood bonding because it's a current topic. But if
Go on.
the
I don't mind.
if the prince gets Dad under him, he doesn't need you. And I know Dad.
A bargain
You think
for his
Dad
life.
will? You think Dad will blood bond to the prince?
To
Save
stay
his skin?
to save his skin, absolutely.
He may be proud, but he's also someone I trust that knows how to survive.
So you really think that whatever the prince has cooking up, supposing that that's what's going on, you're positive
No, I
that the prince is? I'm not. Look, I'm not trying to. I don't mean to be aggressive with it. I don't
Well,
know
then-
what the right answer is.
Well, then maybe that's our answer is we don't know enough. Maybe we need to do some snooping. Maybe on Sierra. Maybe on the prince.
But this information that you have on the hunters, every day we sit on it, it's more and more dangerous for you.
that needs to go to the prince.
It would earn us his favor before we ask to do something, or don't, and just do it. Right? He would owe
need
us.
his favor.
If
Do you have a better plan for them?
Yeah.
Wait, what are we going to do then?
Yeah, what I'm all ears. I'm open to it if
Stop the hunters, I mean.
yeah, look, whatever we can do to stop the hunters and then physically remove the evidence of those plans from our possession, I'm down for that plan.
You're more than welcome to help, but it's already in motion.
what's in motion?
Taking out the hunters.
So then this wouldn't have been very good information to give to the prince.
It's not happening yet.
Okay.
I was just going to present him with the fact that I had killed them all.
What do you What?
Oh,
What do you mean that I killed them all? Please enlighten me, Willow.
And
You got a bigger gun?
bunch of anarchs.
Are going to... What?
I'm not gonna tell you.
I feel like you've said enough.
Yeah,
You're going
you
to
and a bunch of
attack the
anarchs
hunters?
are going to...
I don't know. I don't think that you held much back.
No.
No.
That's crazy.
Crazy?
I mean,
Crazy?
I'm not saying no. I am saying it's crazy.
Willow, you can't be serious.
Were we on the same boat?
What boat? Oh, that boat. Sorry. I thought you meant like the figurative boat.
That too.
Not the literal boat. I was there, yes. No, I mean, yeah.
You're not going to war with hunters.
Silas.
Just a little chemical warfare.
A little... What are you talking about, Willow?
Okay.
Do the anarchs have some nerve
that sounds
gas or
cool.
something? Yeah, like, what do you...
The anarchs have whatever I want to give them.
You're not getting your hands on...
Leah, how are you getting your hands on
I'm
chemical weapons?
definitely not telling you that.
No.
I
My
feel like
transactions
you should-
are private.
I feel like you should share that kind of thing, if not just for,
Look, if you don't know where to get certain chemicals, that's not my problem.
I know where to get certain chemicals.
Dorian
Willow.
is the
speaking
CEO
like
of
you
a
don't.
medical company. He can get whatever he
I
wants.
had meetings with military.
And I also work at a medical company.
And you what? No black market gun runners? What?
Maybe I do.
Okay.
No, not okay.
No, I mean okay. I just wish you would tell us. But
Tell you what, where I get my hookup?
No, I don't.
I'd like to know that you're.
Not
It's
telling
kind
you
of a
that.
crazy thing that you just told us. That
Well,
you just like have
Val,
access to chemical weapons.
Val,
you know?
please speak up here.
Yeah? Oh, Willow, that's bad.
No, fuck. Did you know? I feel like you knew already.
No, I not about the chemical warfare. No, I mean none of this. She tells me like girl things.
Yeah.
Except for chemical warfare. I would say that is a girl thing, but she
That
didn't
is
tell
a
me
girl
about that.
thing, yeah. What?
It's
It's
Willow?
untraceable.
That's a girl thing? Okay.
Is Adder supposed to be part of this attack? He's gonna come to the park where you saw him with.
No,
with-
that's not happening there. We're going to the church.
Oh,
You're going to attack.
you're
So are
going
you
to their
attacking
base.
before the date of their attack? You're not gonna ambush
Yes,
them?
before.
How-
I feel like I shouldn't tell you.
Hey, Willow.
What?
Do you have to? Can't you just sit this one out?
It's not like I'm going in like a fucking knight in battle with armor and a sword.
Then what are you like? Please enlighten
You're sitting in
me.
Machiavelli with the gas.
No. Oh my goodness. I mean, though he could. He definitely could.
I don't think they
It's
make
just-
gas masks in
I-
his size.
It's just a simple hooking up a little carbon monoxide to their HVAC system and kaput, they're just humans.
And what about the ones that aren't there?
That's
Where-
why I got their plates. So I can track them down one by one. What?
Are you?
It's not a
You're-
bad idea. I
One
just
by
wish
one
you
It's
weren't
a
the one
terrible
executing it, Willow.
idea.
What happens if one of them finds out that another one's dead before you kill all of them?
You're not
Well-
a bounty hunter.
I have every hunter that was. I have them all. I have every description of that certain group. I don't know what they call them. You know, like we have our little group, and I don't know what theirs are called, but I have physical descriptions of each one.
And
And
you're-
all their plates.
So you can give those to the anarchs to take care of it, right?
And you can sit this
Right.
one out.
I'm not going to personally do it. I'm not a fighter.
That's all I'm saying. This is we're
Okay.
Lysanders. We let other
You-
people fight our battles.
Yeah, that's why I've
you
paid
were-
the Anarchs all this money to do it for me.
You were making it sound like you were going to be in the vanguard kicking down the front door.
It was a little suspicious.
Nobody's kicking down any doors. We're doing this incredibly quietly. That's
It
hence
just-
the chemicals.
It just feels
A little
like a
extreme.
sudden... Yeah, and
Maybe.
like why? Yeah.
Thanks for the raid.
Okay.
Hey,
And then when they're all dead, I can show them to the prince. There you go. Took care of your problem for you before you could.
And then what
That's
leverage
got it.
do you have there? Because you've just taken care of the problem.
And you've just caused open war with someone that you should not be near.
But they were already
I mean,
going
technically
to
they
attack.
started
But
it.
you don't. What if they're just hunting? What do they call them? Garu?
Yeah. Actually, I don't even think they call them that. They wrote wolf.
Okay,
on
what
the
if they're
back of
just?
the sheet.
What if they're just dealing with them? What if the prince has already negotiated a deal that
They're
we
not.
don't? You don't know that.
I do know that. I literally talked to the Malkavian Primogen's child that they kidnapped and killed.
And they also killed Thea.
Exactly. Isn't that enough?
What's done is done. Don't poke the hornet's nest.
How are they going to prove anything with the way I'm killing them?
You just said you were going to go to the prince and tell them, look what I've done.
Right, I did say that. Are we talking
It
in
doesn't
circles?
help us
We hope-
with the prince
yeah.
if you do
We
this.
usually are.
I'm sorry, we got from killing dad to killing hunters.
I'm all for taking care of this hunter problem in the greater sense of like, hey, they're an existential threat to our kind and our very existence. You know, I mean, solidarity, right? But like, seriously, we should be talking about this stuff, right? I just, it doesn't help us to just take care of the problem if we're not using it to leverage some better position with the Camarilla.
I just
I
had
don't give a
thought. I don't
fuck
know.
about our position with the Camarilla.
Could
Why?
there's no way that the Camarilla could be working with the hunters, right? If the prince is saying we'll get what we deserve, and then the hunters are targeting us specifically,
Look,
right?
He works with Anarchs. Clearly, he works with the Lysambra. Why not some hunters?
the Lysander are now part of the Camarilla, whether you like it or not.
Look, that's fine.
Unless
And I
we
don't hate
find
them,
out
I
that
just
they're
hate work.
plotting... Unless she's not working with the prince, and she is just plotting with dad, and we just don't have the proof yet. And that's what I'm hoping that we can maybe find.
Okay.
But
well,
that
then
is
you
a Hail
work on that.
Mary. I'm gonna work on that.
Okay.
Okay, but but I guess at this point it doesn't matter. Like, the plan is in motion with the Anarchs, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
burn that evidence. We don't need that.
Somebody comes to the door, Dorian, and knocks. It's your new head of marketing, director of marketing that you hired after the last one.
Perished on the boat.
And so they're waiting for you to make
Oh,
the speech.
Oh wait, fuck no.
Your
You
speech
can
now.
paraphrase.
the talking about how the company's been doing and growing, and our new business strategy for H2, and how we're moving past the Pexanol and all of those things.
Sure. Yeah.
He probably has note
Um,
cards for you, right?
Yeah. I'm sure there's note cards. I would get up there and, as usual, I would probably Yeah, you know what? At this kind of function, I've been to a lot of these, and I would just talk about, look, we always have some setbacks, but we always find our way coming through stronger. We may have had an issue with some of our recent drug offerings, but we've got exciting new projects on the horizon. We're acquiring more blood banks. Vital is still growing, and soon we are going to be the biggest provider in the city when it comes to blood transfusions and blood bank services. So we can look forward to seeing that result in better growth for this company. And Dorian's starting to sweat as he's looking over this crowd, and he is very,
I forgot.
very fucking hungry.
I didn't.
I hope nobody has a scratch in that room.
Oh shit! And then one person, their glass breaks.
Oh.
Blood's
Cheers!
So yeah,
I'm just kidding. However, Dorian, I would like you
keeping
to.
it short.
I would like to roll you a charisma leadership roll.
I was sweating. I was like, what is Tracy planning? Get up on
Just
stage at
kidding.
Hunger 5?
I would
Lord.
like you to take technically you do take social penalties when you have higher blood potency, which you're not quite there yet. There's a higher or lower humanity. It's lower humanity, which you're not quite there yet. I think it's both. Anyway, but I want you to take a 1 dice penalty due to your hunger. And the beast,
okay.
the beast
Oh, no.
is
And you're rolling
The
five.
beast-
Re-roll then,
You're
'cause
rolling
I already
5
rolled.
hunger die.
Yeah, I know. And I already rolled, and now this is another and I didn't fail. So
Or
Okay.
no.
hold on, it was charisma and leadership, right? And then how do I remove a die? Oh, there we go. Okay.
Oh no.
Okay. No critical fail, but only
no
two
messy,
successes.
no messy crits, no,
no
bestial
messy
failures.
criticals, and no.
2 successes.
Oh wait. Oh yeah,
Oh.
no bestial failures. Okay.
Oof.
Yeah. Just two successes though. instead
My
of
heart.
This is sweating.
5 that I had
Yeah,
last
I'm
roll.
like, Dorian's about to
about to
rip
have
some
the
people
moment.
apart up on that
can
stage.
Can I re-roll actually with willpower?
You can, yes.
You can also.
You can re-roll any of the non-hunger dice. So if you only rolled if you rolled successes on your regular dice, so
I can
you
only
might not.
re-roll 1.
I was gonna say you might not have many dice to re-roll.
Okay, yeah, I didn't get any. Yeah, just 2 successes.
Your speech is pretty generic as far as like a company speech goes, and people seem to be receptive to it and nodding in the crowd and like a clap, but it's not quite instilling awe and motivation to the company. It's an average company speech, really. It's not bad. It's not like getting people excited and invigorated for Vital Medical Group.
That's fine. Dorian doesn't actually care at all right now and just wants to get off the stage.
And you do. You get off the stage. You say your speech, and you head back to your family. And the night is actually coming to a close. Your speech was kind of the last thing for the evening, and you see people starting to leave, say their goodbyes, and you return to your siblings.
Are you okay?
Yeah,
You look bad.
why?
That speech was awful.
It was fine. They don't really give a shit. Nobody listens to those.
Your
I-
eyes look. Mm.
Yeah, I'm just a little hungry. That's all.
A little.
Oh, the night's almost over, Dorian. You should get something.
I plan on it as soon as we are wrapped up here. Let's just figure out what we're doing, you know?
Okay, so we have 2 big things on our platter. but we need to decide where to go from here.
I
Willow,
think somebody needs to look in Sierra.
yes, I think that's a great idea. We need to know
Wait.
what.
Oh,
Yes,
sorry.
Val. No, go ahead.
I don't know. It's silly. It all feels like I'm just thinking of movies that we've seen and stuff. If they want to kill Lysanders, the hunters, why don't we give Dad to them? I mean, not literally give him, but like lead them to him. Maybe they get him, maybe they don't, but either way, at least one of our problems is solved.
Be funny to watch.
I mean,
Right?
not a bad idea.
It's just a matter of whether we can trust the hunters. I don't know
Would
how to make that
require
kind
that.
of communication.
No. You just.
Oh, we don't
no.
have to trust them.
No,
we just
no,
drop
no,
some
no,
breadcrumbs
no.
for them,
What if we just?
right?
No, Val. That's. What if we just tell him to be in the park in 2 weeks?
Dad?
Do you think you can dominate him, Dorian? Suggest that he just go to that park? Wrong place, wrong time?
Silas, if I can dominate him, I don't see why we need to bother taking him to the park.
Well, maybe there's another way we can get him there.
I thought there were limitations to your dominate.
Well.
Well,
Val, that's a good idea.
Thanks.
There-
I forget which
there-
movie that was.
there will be a lupine there, too. Don't forget.
Then it'll be a party.
Yeah.
Oh, you did a great job figuring this all out, getting the jump on it. And it is a really good idea, as long as you're not involved. That's all we wanted to make sure of. And it's still not
I
off the
think it's
table, but
cool
maybe
that
we
you
can
did
figure
this.
something out.
And but
I think it's awesome. I just wish we had known.
and with
Wish
this
we talked more.
whole anarch bullshit, you're keeping your distance, right?
What do you mean?
Like you're I don't know how it
wouldn't-
works. You're not a full-blooded member,
Silas.
right? Like if it falls back that the anarchs did this, because there's obviously going to be evidence.
I mean,
Your silence disturbs me.
Yeah, I'm not liking that.
Adder and I are very close. Isn't that enough?
That sounds like the opposite of what I was asking.
Yeah, that is not an answer.
Feels like an answer.
Feels like a Willow answer.
Sometimes no answer is. Answer, I mean.
Well, that is complicated then for our family.
No, just for me.
Got it.
I mean, so what is the plan then? Do you think you want to sit and mull on this give Dad to the hunters idea? Or do you want to go the route that Dorian proposed, go to the prince, get his blessing?
I think the hunters The hunters is the quick and dirty way.
The
The
quick and
Lysander
dirty.
way. Lysander way.
The
But
Lysander way.
the prince, I feel. I mean, I feel like the prince is the. I don't know. I'm not sure about how strong our evidence is. Like if you, like, Dorian, if you were offering up a minor blood bond for control, that would speak volumes than the evidence that we have.
You're saying that's what I should offer?
If you can control it, and Prince Jackson has, I don't want to use the word control, because Val's sitting right there. But if he has some sway over you to ensure the safety of the Camarilla in Chicago, then I think that speaks volumes more than us sleuthing around in the dark.
Okay. Well, I'm not gonna offer it up in the first pass for negotiation.
And if he says no, oops. Dad went to the wrong place at the wrong time.
I think that makes sense. Then our hands are clean of it. That is kind of a neat... There's kind of a neatness to that in the backup plan. I mean, no one's going to suspect, so long as they don't find evidence that we knew that they would be there. So, again, I just really want to make sure that that is taken care of.
You weren't seen, were you, Willow?
I mean, I didn't get out of the car.
And those
Rather
plans
non-answer.
that you have, can you give those to the Anarchs, or
What?
I'm just a little worried about
Give them what? I mean,
You're quiet again, Dijon.
those plans that you had. I'm sorry.
Like you're whispering as Dorian, but your mic isn't really picking it up.
The levels keep automatically jumping down. And
Oh.
and I apologize.
Sounds like you have to put on wave gain lock. Sorry, continue.
Yeah. Sorry. I think I said already. What was I lost the train of thought there.
The plans? I think
Yes,
you were
you're gonna
saying?
give the map and the bullet to the Anarchs.
Oh yeah. The evidence, the physical evidence that you have. Like, I just don't think any of us should be holding on to that, because if we're found with that, I mean, that blows our plausible deniability there.
okay.
And they're not gonna give
Okay.
you up, are they?
No.
We have to trust the allies that we make to some extent.
They won't. Even if they don't trust me, they trust him.
Who, Adder?
Yeah.
But unfortunately, Adder is not the entire Anarch crew, whatever they're called.
No.
Movement.
Movement.
But
You don't think Anita would throw you to the wolves if it got her step up?
things are a bit different with them than it is in the Camarilla. It's a bit more family-based.
Hopefully that's true.
And you think it's different enough that if Anita asked Adder to give you up,
Do I think he would? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I'm asking how solid do you think this is?
I don't think he would.
Okay.
Okay, so you're going to dig up some dirt on Sierra. You're going to give the plans to the Anarchs. I will speak to Deucible to see if we can provide anything with your initial go-around.
Well, if we're not going to utilize the hunters, then we need to have help with Dad. And Val, I don't even know if I want to ask you to talk to Helena. But if she talks to you...
I mean, I can certainly talk to Annabelle. I can see. I'm not sure Helena wants to talk anymore, but maybe with me.
Okay.
And, yeah. Family meeting over?
Go eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to the diner.
You look even more pale than you usually are.
I'm hungry. You wanna lay into me more? I look
No.
like shit.
No.
I'm sweaty.
Yeah, you look tired too.
Great. Cool.
But
Thanks,
still very
guys.
handsome. In a tortured way.
The soiree comes to a close. At this point, mostly everybody has left, and there's just the cleanup crew taking away some of the items and the food and the drinks and everything that they had for this evening. And the four of you take your leave and go your separate ways for the night. And I am going to make a note for Dorian. When we return in October, I am going to have you roll for feeding at Hunger 5. And that is something we will
boy.
see how that goes.
That's what we're going to start with.
When we return. But before we end for the night,
Oh, no.
and you're all taking your leave,
No.
making your way home, Val, you get out of the car from your driver who drops you by your haven where you slumber, usually by the Succubus Club, if not at the club itself. And you're heading in and you see a dark limo drive toward you. Tinted windows. And the window rolls down. You look. You see your father.
Knew it.
Val, it's been a long time.
Hey, Dad.
Yes. Hello, Val. My daughter. I wanted to talk to you about something. Maybe you could join me for a drive.
I really have to meet Annabelle. Do we need to do this right now?
Yes, Val, we do need to do this now.
Okay.
Please. Thank you.
We'll walk around. Or I don't know where you get in a limo. I'll get in a limo.
He opens the door for you, and you slide in. And in the car, it's just him. And he begins to drive off. We just have to make one more stop before we begin. And it's quiet. And you watch him drive.
Oh, he's driving?
Sorry.
Oh,
The
okay.
driver
Okay. I was like,
Your
whoa,
father
what's happening?
doesn't drive.
I've never seen him do that.
And
you didn't forget again. You know it's not my birthday. It's like 2 months if we even
No.
have those anymore.
no, and eventually you begin to forget birthdays, but it's still early for that.
No, I mean, you forgot them before, but never mind.
And you look where he's driving deep down south of the city toward Hyde Park. And you see familiar area, you've been around here, near the Tremere chantry. And he pulls up. And Silas Jr., you see a limo pulling up as you're stepping into the chantry. And similarly roll down the window. Son?
Do I see Val in the car?
I slouch in my seat.
He doesn't immediately you don't immediately see Val in the car. You just see your father. Son, I wanted to talk to you about something. If you wouldn't mind, it should just be a drive. I know you're busy. Shouldn't be more than 30, 40 minutes. Just a drive up the coast.
That's
It's
a bit
fine, Sai.
You hear your sister's
call out.
voice.
Wenta. Don't pretend you have a choice. You know how this goes. She peeks her head.
fine. And Silas will get in.
The same thing, opens the door, get in the car.
I give
and
you,
it's
I
the
give
three
you a
of you.
look, like the sibling look,
Is it
you know,
the
and like
same?
you know when the parents are
the
doing
same
some
night?
shit.
It's the same night.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, like we were just getting home, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
I'll
the
give you
same-
like the sibling look, like here we go.
And it is just the three of you in the back of this limo. And he begins driving. Sorry, I keep saying he begins driving. The driver begins driving up the coast along the lake. And it's just the three of you. And you look. It doesn't look like he's making any other stops. He pulls out a vial of blood and begins looking at it in the car. It's interesting, isn't it? This blood. This is your blood, Silas. And then he pulls out another one. This is yours, Val. And with it, I have the power to tell either of you exactly what I want you to do. Because you're my children. You are my blood. Despite sharing different blood in our unlives, you are still my children. But that's not what I want to do. I want to protect you. I know you're close with your other siblings, Dorian and Willow. I'm not a fool. I know you all talk. You're a coterie. That's what you should be doing. You should be working together. And I know things haven't been easy and going the way they should for this family. Do you remember, Val? When you were first embraced, those not too many nights after your first feeding, your siblings They all did horribly. You were the only competent one. And I decided to let you in. At least the start of the things that our family keeps. And it's been over a year since that night. And Silas, you've proved your competence as well. Two of you, my eldest children. I should know that you would be the smartest and the wisest of this family. That you would... you would do what I asked when you were embraced. You stay within your clans. You do what you need to do for the Tremere, for the Toreador. And I'm proud that you have. Which is why I don't want anything bad to happen to either of you. For what's to come. Dorian, my son, he just keeps missing the mark with being part of the Ventrue circles. I know what he did with Caden, going behind my back. Disappointing. And Willow. From the sources I paid, it seems she's decided to fully commit to the Anarchs. Swearing an oath to the movement. That happens. She truly decides to do that. She loses Camarilla support. Any backing, any protection that the Camarilla would have for her, it's gone. As a matter of fact, Prince Jackson would probably even remove her from the coterie. He wouldn't kill her. We don't kill Anarchs in cold blood, but she would lose protection from the Camarilla and from this family. But no, you two. I know you don't want to be part of this. I know. It's why I'm willing to take these 2 vials and destroy them in this car right now. The 2 of you want to leave. Val, I know you... You have plenty of places to go outside of the city. You've been there. You've been across this world once. You could just as easily do it again. And Silas, I know New York is somewhere your sire would be happy to have you. Do work for the Tremere there. If you 2 agree to leave the city, I will destroy these vials right here and break this bond. And you won't have to worry about me or this family ever again. That's it.
And what will happen to everyone who remains here? Like Willow and Dorian?
They've made their choices.
And what's yours? What are you planning, Dad?
All
I
I
wouldn't
want,
hurt them.
I don't want to hurt them, no. They're hurting themselves.
No. I won't accept that. Take accountability.
Accountability. They are their own people. They've always been their own kindred. Anytime I've tried to offer anything, it's met with hostility. You think if I walked up to Dorian and Willow right now to try to negotiate and offer something that they would take it? No, we're beyond that point now.
And do you think that means they should die?
No. But I cannot control their actions moving forward. Just only with these vials.
I look to Silas.
Now, what I'm about to say is not to be met with hostility. But what if we don't want to leave?
Perhaps only for a temporary time. Until the dust settles with the Camarilla, the Hunters, the Anarchs, hell, even the Lupine. It doesn't have to be forever. You can come back to the city once the dust settles. Your siblings don't have to know. Val has gone away many times before, and Silas, it wouldn't be so out of the ordinary if Aisling called you to the Five Boroughs.
We say no. You're going to make us leave.
He looks at the vials. No. I'll just hold on to these.
My work is here. Whether it's at the hospital or the chantry, I'm staying. You can hang on to that.
I see. If that's how you feel, son.
It is.
Can I think about it? Just one more night.
Well, see, if you said no, I was going to try to wipe your memory so that you would forget this conversation even happened. But I know Silas has bolstered his mind, so that if I tried, I'm sure his defenses against it would be quite formidable.
Most likely, yes.
If you'd like to take a night to think about it, I won't be opposed. I know you'll probably tell your siblings about this.
That's not what I meant.
I can keep it a secret.
Yes, secrets. Tremere are quite good at that.
Friends in the family, too.
You do what you want. I only came here to make the offer.
And I value that you came to us. Like I said,
Do you, son?
I do.
Do you?
It means a lot that you would trust Val and I to make this choice. And it reaffirms that what you said about us being shining examples of the Lysander family within our clans is true. We're good at what we do. Whether Val, the Succubus Club, or me at the Chantry.
This is all I wanted for my children.
I wasn't done. But deep down, and again, I don't mean this as a negative or a threat, Dad. Please, I hope you don't take it this way, but I feel like you're scared of us a little bit. Because you know what Val and I could do. You've tried that once before and it didn't work. I don't want to spit venom in your eye again, so just put it away.
He takes your vial, Silas, and crushes it on the seat next to him. He takes a handkerchief with the Lysander name on it and wipes it. Fine. Scared is not the term I would use. Unruly. That is what I would use. But whatever your brother and sister have planned, I don't think that it's not something the two of you have thought of as well. But you at least maintain the facade. And that's all this is. You'll learn soon that's all the Camarilla is. You have your own plans. You have your own schemes. But everything, as long as you maintain that facade, that you are a good Tremere and Toreador, child of Primogen, the Toreador Primogen, and child of the Tremere Regent. That's all you need to do. That's all you need to do to succeed. And hey, maybe whatever you and your siblings are planning, maybe it will pan out. Maybe it won't. We'll find out. But at the end of the day, you go back to that little facade that you had, and you move on. Or you become dust. That's how it operates here. So good luck to my children. One day when you get older, you'll realize You can't keep your hands clean forever. And you have to make some hard decisions to protect those you care about. He looks down. The card turns toward the house, your family house. And he exits the vehicle and leaves the two of you. And that is where we end our session for this evening.
I hate this. I feel less stressed as I did when I was watching Succession. Actually more.
Right?
Definitely more.
And that is that for the Lysanders for now, everybody. We will be back in a couple of weeks for more Ancestral Blood. So hope you all don't miss us too much. We have some things to sit and mull over and think on. I have some things I need to cook on a bit here based on the session. So we'll be back October 4th for our next session. But in between then and now, you can join us for Ignite Recall on Tuesday nights at same time that we usually start at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern to get some scum and villainy in your life, or join us the night before Ancestral Blood returns, October 3rd, for Defend Your Romance Dragon Age Edition. That's all for us, everybody. Hope you have a great September if we don't see ya, but join us in the Discord and come chat and hang out with us.
We'll wake you up when September ends.
Oh, Silas!
Oh,
Thank
And the
you.
stream. And the stream.
in the fucking stream.
Goodbye, everybody.
I don't want to
Good
be
night,
here
everyone.
anymore.
Don't let the beast win.